If your house is starting to feel harder to live in, but even more so, the idea of leaving your house is weighing you down, then this is for you. We talk to people every single day that are going through something just like this. They almost feel stuck in their house. It's like their house is winning. They've been in their house for 20, 30, 40 years, and the stairs are feeling a little bit harder to use. The landscaping is being trickier to work with, but almost more importantly, they have all these emotions from living in their house, and they don't want to give that up. The memories are there. They're worried about what their friends, what their family, what their grandkids, what their neighbors will think if they have to move out of their home into something different, into senior living, or maybe even just a condo or a single-story home. It's not just about the physical stuff. It's not just about the stairs that are harder to use that kill your knees. It's not just about living in a big house and you don't want to clean it anymore. It's about more than that. And what I mean is, you maybe probably grew up in a house or raised your kids in this house that, maybe on the wall or the door jamb, you have like the height scale, like every year they grew up a little bit and you had little notches on the wall. Maybe it's about all those memories. Maybe it's about disappointing your family, disappointing the kids because you were the hub for every single holiday. For Christmas, you hosted a wedding for a friend at your house. Maybe it's some of those things that are much more emotional than just the physical stuff. Change is really hard. And I remember the most difficult decision I ever had to make. There's probably two of them, but one really sticks out. When I was on the TV show The Bachelor in 2009, I had to make a change, and it was really, really hard for me. A lot of people didn't want me to do it. I was getting different opinions from left and right. I knew it was going to be hard for me, and I don't want to dwell on this by any means, but sometimes change is hard, but it's really needed. And when you talk to the people around you about that change, whether it be moving out of your house into a condo that's easier to use, the people around you who love you the most will listen to you and they'll support you without a doubt. Making a tough decision is really hard. And the one time that this sticks out for me was, on TV in front of a whole bunch of people that I didn't know. And there were people around me that supported the decision that I had to make. And there were people around me that really didn't support it. Friends that didn't understand, friends that did understand. But I made that decision because it was best for my family, where I was at in life, and where I wanted to go in the world. And I think that if you're going to make a tough decision like that, having people around you that trust you and support you is really important. And that's what we really get to do every day. Right now, we get to sit down and I get to remember these tough decisions that I had to make. And I get to support people in their next stage in life and where they want to go. And sometimes it involves other people in your family, us all talking together, or just you guys talking privately. But there are people around you that will support you, and you should definitely know that. When I was prepping for this video that you guys are watching, it reminded me of a couple of clients of mine. Sarah and Jim, those aren't their real names. But Sarah and Jim was going through this exact same thing in the Seattle area. Jim was having a hard time with the stairs. He actually fell down the stairs one time. And Sarah was just not able to keep up with the house maintenance, and she just didn't love it anymore. The house was way too big, but she just wasn't emotionally ready. And we would sit down with her, and it took about a year to make the decision that they were really ready to move into a one-story condo. And every single month the story would change. Or if they were ready, that would change. 1 month she was ready, the next month she wasn't. 1 month they were prepping and packing, the next month she wasn't emotionally ready. But as time went by and the more conversations that we had, because the physical liabilities, the physical issues that Jim was having in the house, Sarah started to emotionally get ready and prepare for this move. And we helped them every step of the way. But the bottom line is we're always grateful to be a part of these tough conversations. This really reminds me of what my dad told me before he passed away. He just said he was excited to get his freedom back. And what I mean by that is he was living in a house for his whole life, different houses around California and Seattle. But as he got older and when he was getting sicker, that living in a house was really hard for him. The stairs, even up to the front door, were hard for him. But when he got into this condo and he could lock up the condo and leave whenever he wanted, meaning he loved to go to concerts. They went to Las Vegas almost every month to see Lady Gaga and Bruno Mars. And he loved that freedom. And growing up, I never even thought about that kind of stuff, living with him, because, you go down the stairs, you go off to work, and that's just what you do. But when you get to a place in life, and when I'm thinking about my dad and how he got his freedom back, and how so many of our clients, after they get out of their house and they get into a place where it's easier for them to live, they do get their freedom back. Now I'm looking into a mirror. I'm actually looking to the camera and talking to myself, because I'm 49 years old right now, and my mom is going through this exact same thing. My stepdad can't use the stairs like he used to. And what it makes me think is, wouldn't it be amazing if I said to my mom, and she heard this, and my stepdad heard this, that what if you could make life easier? You could take the elevator down to your car, or take the elevator down to the street and walk to the local coffee shop, walk to the Starbucks, wherever you go. Walk out to the neighborhood, enjoy yourself. And what if you could actually look at your dad, or my stepdad in the case, and say, what would you do on Saturday if you didn't have to mow the lawn, if you didn't have to clean up the landscaping, and you had that extra freedom? You could lock up the house or lock up your condo and just go on a trip, go wherever you wanted. You know, I was talking about my dad before, and he loved going on European trips. They could lock up and for 2 weeks go to Italy or France or wherever they wanted. I guarantee you the people around you will support you if you have those conversations with them. I know this is a lot to take in, but I encourage you to think about what that next 20 years looks like. Where do you want to go? How much freedom do you want to have? Do you want to be able to travel? I think about some of my clients who've done this, and they go and travel and see their grandkids in different states almost monthly. I think about my friends and family who go to concerts, like I said, with my dad. They love that lock up your house and leave it lifestyle. They love the safety of it. They love the freedom of it. They know that there's less pressure on taking care of a house when the house could be so big and so overwhelming. The bottom line is, change is really, really hard, but it will be amazing for you once you get there. We always think about it this way. We help people change homes without losing themselves. As always, we're here for you. No matter what the conversation is, especially if it's along these lines, drop me a note below, shoot me a text or an email. We're always here for you.